and that recording will be sent out sometime tomorrow. So if you want to go back and reference anything that's covered in today's presentation, you can absolutely do so. Attached to that recording is a questionnaire. The questionnaire is 4 questions long, should take you no more than 2 minutes. We just ask that you do take the time, fill that out for us, because we do value your feedback. So we want to get that feedback, and then that way you're able to go back and check the recording. The chat is open, so if you do have questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. We will have a designated Q&A at the end of the presentation. So if you want to hold off and ask your questions then, you can certainly do that. And then during that Q&A, I'll give people the option, if you want to come off mute and ask your question, you can do that, or if you want, you can just post them into the chat. But from here, what I will do is I will pass it off to Angie and Matt from Kelley Education. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, RJ. We appreciate, so I guess I'm speaking, I'm Angie Douglas, and I am a recruiting manager. I work with Kelley Education, and I'm located in Rome, Georgia, but we are here, Matt and I are here on behalf of all of the Kelley Education in what we consider to be the Southeast, I guess, geo of our company. And Matt, did you want to say hello?
Sure thing. Thanks, Angie. Yeah, my name is Matt Tidwell. I work with Kelley Education strategic accounts. So those are our largest accounts, most of whom are in the state of Florida. So that's where I'm located. It's actually just starting to be the rainy season here. So I was telling Angie before the call that we've got a nice storm going on outside. So if I lose power, I apologize. But yeah, as Angie said, we're here to represent all of Kelley Education. So even if you're not in one of the states that we mentioned, that's okay. We're going to share kind of general overview information, and then also have a general interest link at the end. So if you do decide that you're interested in learning more, the link will apply to you, and you'll be able to seek out some more information from one of our recruiting strategists.
Thanks, Matt. So this is information only. I'm going to attempt, let me see if I can share. Going to attempt to share my screen.
We can see it.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Never quite sure if I've gotten this correct. And before we get started, I would just be curious, how many of you have actually, I'm trying to get where I can see that show of hands, and Matt, I may get you to help me.
Yep.
How many of you have substitute taught or considered working as a substitute in a school system in where you're located? And Matt, can you see?
Yep, I can
Ask
see
that question.
Machel, June, Ruth, looks like Marlena, Cheryl, Alex, looks like quite a few people.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, that's good. That's very good. So what this presentation, or what we're going to talk to you about today, is more of what I would consider concept or high level. We will have an opportunity. We work with recruiters throughout all of the states that we have school partnerships with. And so if this is something that you are interested in or would like more information, at the end of the call, at the end of this meeting, there'll be a slide, and we will be able to provide you specifics on how you can connect with a recruiting strategist that can give you more specific information about the location where you would want to work. This is always tricky when I'm getting used to new a different platform. Okay, as I said, I'm Angie Douglas, and we have Matt Tidwell with us on today as well. And so Kelley Education, we are a division of Kelley Services. So for those of you that have heard of Kelley Services, it's the staffing, the temporary service, a lot of people, employment services. And over 25 years ago, we were approached by a school system in Gulfport, Mississippi, and they asked as far as if we would be willing to assist them with substitute teachers. So that's how our service line began. and we have continued to grow. We, as far as developing relationships with school systems, we currently work with over 9,500 school partners in 37 states. On a daily basis, in the past year, we fill over 3 million absences in the classrooms. So we've grown. We continue to, as schools are needing both long-term and short-term absences, we have been able to begin working with them and partnering to provide substitute teachers. And I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. So these are some of the business units that we actually have within Kelly Education. So we work with and we provide employees to work in K-12 classrooms, both early childhood, so pre-K 3, pre-K 4, if you've got a fondness for working with the younger children, special education, tutoring, and higher education, where we would provide adjunct faculty. And within those positions, K-12 positions, we provide substitute teachers, paraprofessionals or paraeducators, substitute teacher assistants. We even do non-instructional positions, custodians, cafeteria workers. We provide school nurses and even IT specialists. One of the biggest advantages, and I feel like this would be very beneficial to all of you that are in school, would be that you maintain control of your schedule. All of our employees do that work for us. We use online scheduling systems like Frontline, Red Rover, and SmartFind. And these systems allow you to select jobs when you want to work, where you want to work. So you can actually put in your preferences. You could put in your non-work days. If there's days that you know that you're in class and you cannot work, you're not available, then this would allow you to customize your schedule so that you see work when you want to work. A lot of our substitutes, as they're working in schools, do get on preferred list and develop a relationship over time. The only requirement that we currently have in place is that we would ask that you work 1 day every 150 days, which is not very much to remain active. Some of the benefits of working with Kelly and that our substitutes enjoy is they do get paid. We pay weekly. We offer some fantastic perks as far as online discounts, rebates. Some of the discounts that we hear that we know are most popular, maybe cell phone carriers. Our employees, once they receive their first paycheck, they can take it to the cell phone carrier and receive a discount. And we do provide these discounts. There's multiple movie tickets, I think florist, it just depends on restaurants, but it's called Perk Spot, and it is sent out to all of our employees that work for us. We also have Kelly Learning Center. So this is supplemental and available to our employees as well, for any of them that would want to continue to learn additional skills beyond what we provide in the initial training to become a substitute. We do not require any experience as teaching experience to substitute teach. We also, in addition to the perks that I just referenced, we do, because Kelly Education is part of Kelly Services, we have benefit partnerships and provide these benefits through a third party that are provided at significant discounts. I know as you're sitting here, you probably are wondering as far as the impact that this may have to you. And one of the primary questions we get is related to pay rates. And pay rates are set by the partnering school districts that we work with. So as you start speaking with a recruiter in your market, they could provide more detail on the rates. A lot of times they may be based on education levels. I will say substitute teachers, for the general, not in all areas, are paid daily. and then the rest of the positions are paid hourly, but that's not always the case. As far as the minimum hiring requirements, again, that will also vary according to the state and as well as the school district. And also some schools may require credentialing as far as certifications. It's, again, will depend. The recruiter that you speak with would be able to tell you in very specific terms as far as what the requirements would be. And again, we do not require any prior teaching or experience. We will provide you all the training at no cost to you so that you're prepared when you go into the classroom. All right, so we are always looking for great substitutes, and in addition to providing weekly pay and all the perks that I spoke about, we also provide our employees with rewards, referral recognition. So for every substitute that they refer that works with us 5 days, they get $100 bonus. So we continue to reward our employees for their connections. So I guess what we would want to do at this point is, Matt, if you have anything that you would want to share that I might have gone over a little too quickly. Again, this is high level. A lot of the specifics and details we would talk about with a specific recruiter, and I've left this information up. If you are interested, the QR code, if you have your phone with you, should take you directly to a sub-interest form, and someone would be able to follow back up with you if you were interested. It's what we call an open interest apply. Or you could go to mykelly.com and actually search for the job openings that we have, or just call that number and speak with one of the recruiting strategists, and they'll transfer you to a recruiter in your market.
Thank you, Angie. I think you did a great job explaining. Like you said, it's a high-level overview. We couldn't get really state specific here, and I know that that's going to probably take up a lot of the questions. But one thing I'll just reiterate, as Angie said earlier, this is a wonderful opportunity to work a flexible part-time, start into a career. Just as WGU is a fantastic flexible option for a competency-based learning, and really, I think the two, the partnership really complements each other, because both WGU is a flexible college experience, and then you'd have a flexible career opportunity that allows you to get your feet wet in the field of education, introduce yourself to your local school district. Certainly, if you're in the College of Education, what a wonderful way to kind of get your foot in the door before you reach that student teaching level, and just I think it's a great opportunity. So thank you, Angie.
You're welcome. Thanks, Matt. So we do have plenty of time for any questions. If I want to leave this screen up for just a minute so that everyone who has a chance, who wants to get the phone number, the website, or the QR code can get it. But we are happy to answer questions.
And as people are coming up with questions, feel free to take yourself off mute or post those into the chat. Either or, you do have the capability of coming off mute now if you do want to ask any questions.
Hey, I have a quick question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys usually have anything available during the summer, since I know schools are usually out for the summer?
We don't have as much through education. Occasionally, some of our substitutes are able to partner with their schools if they've and work the summer school programs. Some of the non-instructional positions do work getting the school ready for the fall, and but one of the benefits that we feel like we have with Kelly Education is that we are part of Kelly Services. So some of our substitutes may be able to locate work within the company. You're already hired and it's one company. So to continue to watch our website, mykelly.com, and for jobs, other job opportunities that might come up during the summer. We have been doing some tutoring, and I'm not as familiar. Matt, would you know if there's any tutoring opportunities over the summer?
I believe we still will have some tutoring opportunities over the summer. Yes. Yeah, virtual and in person, depending on where you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. We are hiring, I will say, for the 2023-2024. I know a lot of times people think it's May, and school does not start back until sometimes the end of July, August, or September, but we've actually already begun interviewing and hiring substitutes that will start working in August. Teachers generally, depending on the school system and their calendar, I know in the South, a lot of times they will start entering their absences after the 1st of July. And so this would allow substitutes that are already hired in May and June to be able to pick up absences, as soon as school starts. Any other questions?
Sorry, Angie, I'm working the chat here, and Summer just asked, where do we apply? So you can use that QR code that's on your screen there and scan that. It'll take you straight to a substitute interest form, and then that interest form will then be funneled to the appropriate recruiting strategist, who will then contact you generally within 24 hours. If you don't use the QR codes, you're welcome to visit us at mykelly.com. You'll be able to find plenty of job applications there, job postings there, depending on where you live. And you can always call us at the 800 number and select option 2. That'll allow you to speak with the recruiting strategist and get started in the process as well.
Phone lines are monitored from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can leave a voicemail and we will get it and someone will follow back up with you.
Yeah, and maybe it's easier for me to answer these verbally instead of chatting them out. I'm sorry, guys. So Kate asked, you have to work one day in every 100 days. That's true, yes. So we do require our substitutes to pick up at least one assignment in a 150-day period. Bear in mind, that's about 5 months. So we're asking to pick up one assignment in a 5-month period, which generally shakes out to 1 or 2 assignments in a school year. So there's a number of reasons that we require that. Mainly it's because our screenings that we run on, our background screens that we run on our employees are good for that 150-day period. And whenever you pick up a new assignment, it kind of refreshes that period. So we want to make sure that everyone stays screened and compliant, because we are working in the schools. So it is an important part of our screening process. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Matt. I can't see those, so I appreciate you going through those.
Sure.
A question. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I'm in California, and I know that the substitute requirements are to have a bachelor's, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So can't really do that at this moment. But do you know if there are? You had said about substitute media specialists, substitute paraprofessionals, et cetera, et cetera. Do those have the bachelor's requirement, or would it? Because I'm just thinking, would it be even worth it at this point for me to apply if I don't have really any credential, or can't achieve any credentialing till I'm done with school? You know what I mean? So do you know if those other opportunities require a bachelor's degree, or if they're a little bit more flexible with that.
It's going to vary based on state, and unfortunately, I'm not well versed with California. I would guess that if substitute teacher assignments require teacher certification, it's because it's an instructional position, whereas other positions such as substitute media specialist, food nutrition, paraprofessional are considered non-instructional and might have different requirements. So my best advice would be to fill out the sub-interest form, because that's going to take you to a recruiting specialist who actually is well versed in that particular state and would be able to speak more specifically to those requirements. Great question.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is a good, yeah. And sometimes we will actually, if there are job postings, we try to put in the minimum hiring requirements for the positions. But as Matt said, someone will not ask you to do an enormous amount of paperwork or forms until they've spoken with you and talked with you about the requirements.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have questions? Feel free to take yourself off mute or post those in the chat. I guess I do have one question. As people are applying for these substitute positions, do you have any advice for these individuals as they're going into maybe it is a new school district that they're not that familiar with, that potentially could, help them stand out and hopefully, if they're going to sub at a specific school district, maybe that leads to future employment. Do you have any advice for these individuals as they're going through and they're doing that?
I bet Matt and I both have advice for that, but I will say, and we will provide prior to any of our substitutes completing or being actually provided what we call activation to the scheduling system. They will go through training, and everyone is also provided orientation. And in the orientation, a lot of times we will encourage our substitutes to be open as far as which grades they take and which schools they take, because we have found that new substitutes that say, I only want to work with these lower grade, levels, maybe they are thinking that they want to work with kindergarten and first grade, and they actually go into a high school and they find that they really like that actually more than they had expected. So my biggest thing is, to be open and to what you are accepting. And that's probably not exactly what you were asking, but I do like to give that advice to all of our applicants coming through.
That's great, Angie. Yeah, and I think just to add to that, I think I'd say be prepared and don't be scared, right? So we have a wealth of resources that are available. As Angie mentioned, there is training as a new substitute is coming through the process. So we give you that baseline training to make you prepared. But in addition to that, we've also got monthly workshops, several workshops in different topics, students with special needs and general kind of 100 level classroom management stuff. So I would say take advantage of all the training and resources that are available to you, as you're going through the process. And like I said, don't be scared. I think going in and being confident, the kids can smell your fear, right? So I joke, but I would say being confident and making sure that you're prepared with everything is probably the most important thing.
Our partnering school districts are also very supportive of the substitutes coming into the classroom. They recognize, and you can tell them when you come in on the very first day, this is my first day to substitute, and they will. They want you to be successful. They want you to come back. So this is one of those few jobs that you have a phone and in every single classroom, and you can call the front office and someone will come. And the teachers next door in the classroom next to you will also come in and assist and support. So it's a very, I hate to keep using the word supportive, but there is a lot of support to you, both through Kelly Education, the training and the resources that Matt just referenced. There's a lot of that. And then also the teachers and the schools will work with you.
Great, thank you, Angie. And I see Marlena asked in the chat, are you able to be a sub for more than one staffing company? We don't have any rules against it, but yeah, no. So if there was another agency that was in a school district next to you, and you wanted to work with Kelly Education and that other staffing agency, I'm not aware of any policy or requirements or restrictions from doing something like that. We'll try to entice you to work for us more frequently, though. How about that? Okay, Scott, another great question here. Is there a list of states or school districts that you partner with for these substitute positions? I'm not seeing any available when searching my area on mykelly.com. It is possible that we don't service a school district within your locale, certainly depending on which state you're in. We do have an internal document that shows all of our states and school districts, but it's big, and it's not something we typically share externally. But if you're not seeing something there on the myKelly website, I would still encourage you to scan the QR code or give us a call and connect with a recruiting specialist. Who knows? It may be that we're having some technical issues and the job posting in your area just isn't showing up right now. So if you talk to one of our recruiting specialists, they're going to be able to tell you very specifically which areas they're in your locale. Summer has a question here. If your degree is for K through 6, is it still possible to sub for 7 through 12 grades? I would generally and very tenderly say yes, that is likely the case, because typically school districts don't have and states don't have requirements for substitute teachers to have certification or a specific degree. But I know we've heard from a couple people in California that California does require teacher certification, so it's possible. Generally, though, if you regardless of your degree, as long as you meet the education requirement for a school district, they don't limit which grade levels you're working with. But I say that cautiously, and again would encourage you to engage with one of our recruiting strategists to find out more information about your particular area.
Are there any other questions for the Kelly Education team?
Last thing I'll say is, even if substitute teaching isn't for you, I bet you know somebody who would really enjoy it or would benefit from the flexibility that it offers. So even if you're not super gangbusters about it right now, that's okay. Maybe snap a picture and share the QR code with your friends or family or neighbors.
All right. Well, thank you, Angie and Matt, for jumping on, presenting today, answering the questions that we have. I really think this is a great opportunity for our students, especially just given the nature of our degree programs, and we do get a lot of career changers that are really looking to get their foot in their doors in the door. So I think this is a great opportunity to be able to kind of build their professional network. So please, everyone, take advantage of an opportunity like this. But thank you both for jumping on and presenting. And then just a reminder that this session was recorded and it will be sent out, so keep an eye out for that tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye.
Goodbye.